Hey, all you fidgety ladies and gentlemen, all you freaking nerds. I have the Drifter by FocusWorks. Really close to me, actually, like just over the water. I'm on Vancouver Island in Canada, and FocusWorks is just over in Schulp, BC. So, very close. Very easy for me to get this stuff, which is nice because I live in Canada, and a lot of this stuff comes from the States, and it takes like a week or 2 weeks usually, average, minimum for stuff to get here. So this was a nice surprise. It was great when I found out that Geordie Wallace is just across the water from me. Anyway, this is the Drifter. I'm just going to talk about it for a bit. What I think, what I like, what I don't like, for that matter, and yeah. Just see if you can get a sense of it. So, right away, when I got it in my hand, I realized that it's different. It's a slider, it's a coin, it's a worry stone. This dragon skin that's on it. This is a dragon skin brass inlay. It's so nice. I almost got the bullseye inlay because that's the one I've been seeing everyone get. Kind of resembles like a FocusWorks button for a spinner, but I went with this because I had an instinct about it and I was right. It's so nice. Yeah, I mean, just look at this. The detail is just, it's great. And like I said, worry stone feels great. So this is it's a slider, it's a coin, it's a worry stone, it's a clicker. Sometimes that's one of the things that I've been trying to get consistent with it, is like the clicking. You can seem to get a click, but you have to have it just in the right position. So it's a little bit chaotic for me, right? It's different from when you have wrapped and you're able to just keep a flow going, right? You can pick what moves you want to do, and you can basically consistently get the same sort of clicks or sound or feel from it, right? So maybe I'm just addicted to clicks, but maybe I'm addicted to flow, or predicting a flow, or something like that. So when I say a bit chaotic, perhaps I mean it's a little bit unpredictable at times, and maybe that's your thing. So what to say about this? There's one little move I found. So that right now I have it with stock magnet setup, as it comes, right? So one thing I notice is that you can do the wrapping around like that, like the edges, and that is connecting with each magnet spot as it goes around, and you'll see the magnets in the inside in a little bit, so you'll get a better idea of that. But so that's kind of creating this like jerky sort of like to every magnet spot. But I noticed that if you take it and you just give it like this little turn, it sort of goes into a different position, and then it's just smooth. I kind of like it that way. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is, because I unboxed this, before, because I didn't want to unbox it right away and then, get that like new toy, wow, sort of thing, and, be like, oh my God, I need every single one. And then later go, I don't know, right? So I wanted to get a sense of it, so I unboxed it privately, and, this is what you get. It's just very simple. Foam, sits in there. Like that. There you go. Nothing fancy. Doesn't need to be, because that's the fancy part. So I wanted to get time with it, like I said, and I did, and played around with some different ways to set it up, because like any slider where you can take the magnets out, there is different ways you can play with it. So this comes loaded with stock N45 magnets all around. They are 1/4 inch diameter by 1/8 inch thick. That happens to be the exact same magnets as FocusWorks uses for its wraps for the strong ones. So you have the strong ones from FocusWorks and the medium ones. So all FocusWorks ones are N52 but they're the same size as the ones in the Drifter, which are N45. So I'm gonna open it up and we're gonna play with some stuff. Thankfully, this slider, the easiest way I found to actually change magnets is that you don't need, you know, some piece of metal to put it onto to, you know, keep all the magnets in. It's actually easiest just because of its round design and the way the inlays come off to just keep it like this, you know, keep it attached. So what I do just to get it started, because these are basically just big screws, is that you want to get it started like unscrewing by holding just one side. You can't really do that when it's sitting here because then it just wants to, you know, move around on there. So I take one off and then I, you know, twist a little bit till you get that. Sometimes you got to use 2 fingers. Oh, there it goes, right? So once you have it like just loose, then I'll put it back on there. And then I find you can just take 2 fingers, sort of like you're using like a big, it's your big screwdriver now. It's your big 2-finger screwdriver. And then you can just, you know, spin this part, comes right off. There you go. The threads aren't very intense on that. Just a little bit. And then threading on the inside. All right, so ignore my magnets. They look all scratched because I purposely put scratch through them with my metal scribing pen because I've got a lot of magnets kicking around. I store them like all on a little metal piece of metal that I like, you know, screwed to the underside of a shelf above my computer. So I don't want to get them all mixed up. And I know that these are exactly the same size as all the N52 FocusWorks ones I have for the strong ones. So I would easily get the N45 mixed up with the N52. So I put a little scratch on them. You know, some people are going to hate that, whatever. So this is how it comes. I am going to, what am I going to do first? First, this is an easy one, okay? So first I'm just going to take out all the ones on the edge here. I'm going to put it back. Sometimes you're going to get lined up a little bit. There we go. And then use a big screwdriver. And then once it hits, and you can tell it's starting to get tight, then same thing but opposite, take it off one side. And then just give it a little bit of it, and then you're in. Doesn't need much at all. So what this one does is that now it's just one magnet. So now you can just sort of spin it, right? Put it to another position and just sit there and spin. So it's very calm. You could do this too, right? You could just kind of go from every position to all 5 magnets like that. You know, you just sit there and you use it as like a little hand spinner. And then you can hear that sound too. The stainless steel rubbing together. Sorry, I guess I should have mentioned, these are stainless steel bodies right here, right? Hardly any, you know, lines machined into that at all, and it slides great. Just great. As long as it's clean and not gummed up. So that's one little way you can play with it. So we'll take this off again. And now, the other one I want to do. Right. So we're going to put these ones back in. This is where you can get a bit tricky with this. You got to get a little bit of practice because the jumps from each spot are a little bit wide, so sometimes it wants to just suck into the middle one. So you got to kind of be strong with your fingers and get out like that. So the other one that I've heard some people talking about is actually, yeah, let's do this one first. So this one, oh, this one I actually need to do, bear with me, you'll see. So this one, I can't have that other side there. I have to have it on a piece of metal, because what I'm going to do is I'm reversing the polarity of the middle one so that it will repel from the middle one on the other side while all the other ones are attracting. So I tried this one for a little bit. I saw someone recommend it on the groups, I believe Matthew Ricard. And he said, yeah, it creates some pretty fun play. And it can, like, you feel that middle one jumping around more because it, you know, doesn't want to go to the middle, but it'll still hold all together because you have 4 on the outside that are all attracting, so that beats out the middle one. But as soon as you move that, it kind of wants to jerk around more. So, you know, this might work for some people, but, you know, speaking of the randomness and like chaotic, you know, nature of it that I was talking about at the beginning, this just sort of amplifies that. So if you like that, definitely go for it. So now I have to remember which one is wrong. Easiest way to test that is just see what I got here. Yeah, it's that one. You can tell it's attracted to that, 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 and that, and then I try to go to the middle. Okay, so I'll take this one out again. And then see, that's jumping right out because it's like, I'm free now, I'm free. I'm not gonna go near that thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that one magnet. Okay, let's put this back. Yeah, that's the right side, and boom. Okay, so what you can do, I won't do it right now, but you know, if you have these FocusWorks magnets, you know, they all fit, and you could just swap it out for the stronger ones. I don't think it's as good because stronger magnets attracts the bodies of the slider together, you know, stronger and harder, and makes it click less, right? It's just they're together less, and it can't, you know, clack against each other. So I did that, didn't like it. I'm not going to do it, but do it if you want, right? Because not everyone's going to have these magnets. So what I'm going to try now is something else I saw. So see these little parts in the body here? So, you know, Jordy Wallace, if you're watching this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can only assume that these are machined out for weight, right? Otherwise, this chunk of stainless steel would be probably much heavier, you know, several grams. So this all got machined out so it'd be lighter, but you can put magnets in it, right? So if you're like me, you want everything to be super noisy and rattly. So guess what? There's tons of space in those. So they're all just gonna move around like crazy. It's awesome. So let's try this. So I'm gonna take all 4 of those out of those, and then I'm gonna try to turn that a bit because I want these new machining marks to attract to the magnets that are in the regular ones but on the other side. And yeah, I hit it. That was about right. So then we're gonna go like that. This is like the true challenge of filming these videos. Can I talk to you and play with a fidget through another camera? Not very well. Okay, so that's done there. We're just gonna leave that one in the center like that. And then put that back on, take it off to do it, tighten, put it back, take it off to unscrew, got it, back on, big screwdriver fingers, there we go. Flip it. Flip the polarity. Take those out. Give it a little turn. And we are in business. Okay, so away, tighten, there. So now it's I can hear the difference. Hear that? Yeah. So if we do that thing I was talking about where we give it that slight turn so it gets to that position, and then we roll it. Oh, come on, behave. Yeah. There it is. I got the right spot now. Crunchy. So that's another one, right? I find it clicks a little bit easier and louder just because the magnets are moving. So you can find those sweet spots with the clicks. Yeah, so now we'll go to my favorite configuration that I figured out. But before, how much does it weigh? All right, just so you know. So with the brass inserts, which are metal, I'm gonna weigh it with that because, I mean, the other inserts are copper and stainless steel. And those are the ones that most people are gonna have. So it's hefty, right? That's 104 grams, right? That's, you know, comparing to, oh, no, wait, I shouldn't do that. Sorry. When you are weighing anything with a magnet on a scale like this, I have noticed that the magnets will suck down into the components in the scale, and they actually give you a heavier weight than it really is. So I apologize. So let's check it how I figured out is that you put something metal on there, or, you know, something else, and you tear it so it goes back to 0. So it's not going to go to 0. Tear it. There we go. Then take that off, put it on there. 93.6. All right. So it was giving a pull of almost 10 grams into that scale. So a bit of a comparison there for you. If I keep that teared at 0. Like a wrapped, it's my heaviest wrapped right now. Probably this one. It's a bronze one. That's only 78. So that's bronze body. It's got aluminum inserts, right? I could make it heavier with brass, but I don't really like the brass inserts. So there's another one. Magnus, titanium Magnus. 63. Does that give you a sense of how heavy it would be? So there you go. And then, you know, what is the approximate diameter on this guy? It's something like an inch and a half. Ish. Maybe a little bit less. Yeah, it's a good size. Palm of the hand. And of course, if you get it, it'll be like all fidgets where you get it and you take it out of the box and then you go, oh my god, this thing's really small. What's going on? You know why? Because the camera adds 10 pounds. It's just what it does. I guess with fidgets you could say the camera adds 10 grams. Maybe? I don't know. Alright, so my favorite configuration. Because I also got the Ultim inserts with it. Okay, so that's with the bullseye pattern on there. Ultim. So this is how I like to mess around with this thing. Loose. Okay, so we're going to leave all these ones in those big old spaces for the rattle. And then I'm going to take out the middle one and I'm going to put in one of the smaller FocusWorks magnets, the medium strength ones, and those are, I believe, 3/16 diameter by 1/8 inch thick. So I'm going to put that in there. And then we're going to put our Ultim inserts on top, like so. this one loose. And I mean, like, just look at how easy this thing is to like mess around with, right? Like, that's a big bonus. I've just been sitting here swapping in and out over and over again. You get good at it, and then it's like, yeah, it's great. So then, get the right polarity on this, and put that one in there. So if you have messed around with, you know, any kind of, you know, mechanical fidget or slider or anything like that that is made of PEI, which is, you know, which is Ultim, or you know, anything that's just plastic, or, you know, it's light. Like, light plastics are louder, right? They conduct more sound, and then they make the body of the slider lighter as well, so it's able to slap around more, you know, the sides to each other. So since I have added, you know, that medium magnet that is has a less diameter in the center, that one can now move around more. So now it's a popcorn machine. I mean, come on. See, that's just like, oh. That's so good. Oh, I love that. And then, you know, all the movements and the, you know, the clicks and all that stuff, everything's just louder, right? Way easier to start getting some clicking going and stuff. So at first I was like, I don't know if this is a keeper. If I'm being totally honest, I was like, I don't know. Now, definitely gotta keep it longer, if not forever. Wow, like. Okay, so there you go. The Drifter by FocusWorks. All the links will be in the description to go grab one. Yeah, support Canadian. I'm Canadian. Support Jody Wallace. He's Canadian. There's not a lot of Canadian, you know, EDC makers out of there, right? Fuck, it's so loud. Okay. All right. Cool. I hope that gave you guys an idea of it, and you know, whether or not you want to imbibe in one yourself. All right. Toodles.